Hello everyone. I'm going to be going over the assignment for this week's lesson. One of the things that I have done is put a start here first or getting started learning module in every one of your shells. So that's the first item that we're going to be talking about. So we're going to be working in the menu area, and you'll see this link. It may state start here first or start here getting started. You can change the name by going over to the right hand side, clicking on the drop down menu, and you can rename the link. Notice you can also hide the link or delete it. That means if you delete it, you'd be deleting this whole content area. Now you can hide content areas and also items and learning modules until you're ready for your students to view them. In this case, I'm just going to keep it shown because we're working in a dev shell where no students are going to ever be enrolled. Alright, so one of the first assignments is to go into the Start Here learning module, and I have provided already created content in this particular learning module. Notice on the outside you have some text instructions. Now this icon, over here to the left denotes a learning module. That means to make that you would have had to go to Build Content Learning Module. It is the structure or format of a learning module that Blackboard provides that includes a table of contents. So you'll see when we go in what that looks like. Make sure your edit mode is on because that's the way you're going to be able to get into these areas and edit. So for one of the assignments, I've asked you to look at this Getting Started or Start Here learning module and to edit it. So if you wanted to edit the outside of the learning module where this text is, you would go over here to the drop down menu. Just remember you may not see it until your mouse appears, and then you'll be able to click on edit. What I meant by mouse appears, if you move your mouse over, it may not appear until you're right next to it. Some browsers don't quite show it. Now we're in the Edit Learning Module area, and we can change the name of this learning module. I would keep it as Start Here First, Start Here, something like that. We want students to be able to notice this. So in this case, I'm going to change it to Start Here First, and then you see I have some text, and I can make some edits here. I can change the font, I can change the color. Again, this text is something you may want to keep because it may make sense to you. We are instructing our students that this is the first information that they want to be able to access the first few days of class. Okay, so then I'm going to come down here, and if I don't have any other changes, I'm going to leave all the other options alone, and then I'm going to click Submit. You'll notice that there's a Submit button on the top and the bottom, so it just, wherever you happen to be in that item, you can go to the top and submit, or the bottom. I like to go to the bottom just in case I forget some of the option choices. Okay, so we've made some edits to the outside of the learning module. Now we're going to go inside. We're going to click on the text name, and you'll notice that a table of contents will appear, and then also each item over to the right. Now, this had content in it already. This is what we use as a template, and we're hoping that every instructor will use this particular idea in their class. These items can change. Some of these areas are not appropriate. Some of these areas you can enhance with your own pictures, images, text, but for the most part, this is where we'd like to see it stay the same so students can come to that Start Here First learning module and they can find items like your syllabus, your policies, your procedures, your contact information, and then some practice assignments, which we will be doing over the next couple of weeks. So I'm just going to scroll to the top and show you how you can edit this. For example, in the course syllabus, if I wanted to include the syllabus, I'm going to click on the drop-down menu and I'm going to select Edit to go inside that item. And here I have the PDF. It is a hyperlink. There's some text. If I didn't like the picture, I could click on it and delete it right now. And I could bring in my own picture from Insert Edit Image, this icon right here. I'm going to just look at it and decide that I'm going to keep that information there. And as I scroll down, notice I can also attach this document. It happens to be the syllabus, by going to Browse My Computer and attaching it from my computer. Or in the case of which, if you have been uploading, attaching your files in the File Manager, you would now go to the Browse Content Collection. I know that's confusing, but Blackboard is calling the File Manager also the Content Collection. Once I'm done editing and uploading and attaching my files, I can submit. So that's how you would edit items in the Getting Started Learning module. Another item that you'll probably want to edit right away is this first hello from your instructor. Again, I'm moving to the right. The drop-down menu is appearing. I select Edit, and now I can go to that particular text box editor where I have all of the text, and I can put in my personal information. We're simply customizing what's already there. Please feel free to edit anything. You can also delete items. Let me give you an example of that. Let's just say I did not feel that this component was appropriate for my Start Here First learning module. I wanted to put this somewhere else. I can go over here to that drop-down menu to the right and I can delete it. Notice I can also copy it and move it. In this case, you're going to be mostly editing, customizing with new pictures, deleting pictures, and then also deleting items. Each of these areas are created by going up to the Build button and Create Item. That's all they are. But they're separated because of, instead of just one long text box area, they have been separated. I hope that makes sense. We'll have more practice with that. Okay, so if you're done with the Getting Started Start Here learning module, the next item or next step that I wanted you to take is to create your own content area for your weekly learning modules, create a week 1 learning module, and then provide a lesson plan. To do that, we're going to go up to the menu. This is where we add items to the menu. So we're going to add a content area. We're going to call it Weekly Learning Modules. Some of you might have some different names, but these names are, can be unique for what your needs are. I call this the Weekly Learning Modules area because all of the learning modules for all 16 weeks are going to be inside this content area. So see, I just made a blank content area. I know it's blank because of this icon here. So now I'm going to go inside this Weekly Learning Module content area. There's nothing there. That's because I haven't created the learning module yet. And remember, we have 4 build buttons. The good news is if we keep everything in the learning module, it's very well organized for your students. We want to keep them contained in a learning module or a folder style learning module, so each week they know what to do and they have all their activities, all their resources in one place. Alright, so I'm going to build content, select or click on learning module, and I'm just going to simply call this week 1. You can put some more information if you want. And then you can put some information on the outside of the learning module. And I usually like to have a little bit of information about the learning module for that week. And also, you'll know in my class for you, I have the contents listed. So first thing would be a lesson plan, a lecture, an assignment. Now I'm doing this very generically. You may want to be more specific. And then I like the bullets. I think it makes it visually more appealing. And I don't need to worry really about the other options. If you don't enforce sequential viewing of the learning module, the student will have the access or the ability to go through each item individually or jump through the table of contents. And I think that just makes a lot of sense, but you may want to do some things differently, and that's okay. All right, there it is, week 1 learning module. So now I have the information on the outside. What if I wanted to add some more information on the outside? Maybe I have an assignment, but maybe after the assignment I forgot to use the checklist. So I'm going to go back over here, click on that drop-down menu, and I'm going to now I am now adding a checklist to my list of items, activities, whatever may be inside of your learning module, communication tools. All right, what do you think? I think that looks pretty good. I know you'll have a lot more detail. All right, so let's go inside of week 1. This is where the fun begins. There's nothing in it, but we're going to start building. The first thing that I highly recommend that you do is you create a static page. That way when the student enters the learning module, things aren't popping up at them. And they can just get their eyes and their minds focused on the week that is going to be expected of them for this particular learning module. What better way than create a lesson plan? Build content button. I like the create item area because it provides you a title and then also the text box, and you can also attach or upload a file. So now I'm going to call this week 1 lesson plan, and now I can start developing my lesson plan. And you can write whatever you want. And I think a very good suggestion was to do our objectives here, or SLOs, however you use them in your class, and then your activities. So again, I'm just doing bare bones here. You would be filling in the the lesson plan. You would be filling in what the student would be doing that week, so you can make it as fancy or as simplified as possible. One thing I do want to tell you that I've been having a little bit of issues with, and others have been reporting this, is if you do this lesson plan offline in a Word document and you try to copy and paste it into this area, the formatting has been horrible. We used to have a little tool that we could actually copy and paste, and it was a formatting tool. They've taken it away, promising that this text box area has improved. Well, I've seen some little issues. So if that's the case and it's just not working for you inside here, highlight the text and then come over here and remove formatting. And then you can format it inside of the text box. Okay, so I like bullets, and you can set this up, threaded discussion, an assessment. Again, just give your students an idea of what they'll be doing for the week. And I've seen some very creative lesson plans. So be creative. You can type directly into this area, or you can actually prepare your lesson plan in a Word document, because you may want to attach it. That's the good thing about creating these item areas, is that you can also attach files. There's a lot more to learn about the text box editor, and hopefully as we go on with some of these training sessions, I'll be able to show you some new tricks and techniques. Once we're done, click on submit, and there you go.